Happy Turkey Day from me to you to everybody. Or if you're a supporter of John Madden, may he rest his soul, have your turducken. But here at the Aelita Diaries, we're talking about Cold War. And Cold War is great. Unlike the last couple of weeks. This episode is one of the more remembered episodes, mainly because of the attack itself. A blizzard. You would think a blizzard would be season 1 type stuff, but that's why it's so effective here. It's a season 2 attack with a season 1 style hook. But the real world stuff certainly helps this one out a ton. The premise has a news anchor, a world famous news anchor called Thomas Vincent, a play on the creator's name and the head writer's name, show up at the school to talk up the school a bit and how great it is. Odd is looking at it as a chance to break into the biz, which he fails at. And everybody in the school is on edge. Turns out, much like any high-priced new celebrity, especially nowadays, he turns out to be a jerk. Picking on his cameraman, picking on pretty much everyone, and being a genuine, bona fide issue. If matters weren't so bad, the super scan is on the fritz, creating attacks and then not creating attacks. But when Xana finally stabilizes, he comes with the eponymous blizzard, which starts endlessly enough. After all, in the US version, we are talking about a blizzard, which means for these middle schoolers, they get a quote unquote snow day. But that snow day becomes dangerous when temperatures start dropping below zero. And it's good to see the staff and teachers actually do the right thing in this situation, keeping their students warm and alive at all costs. Even allowing Jim to tell one of his stupid yet fictional stories to try to keep everybody awake. As the Leoka warriors try to deal with the attack, the weather's keeping them back too. And because of the size of the blizzard, one of the trees tips over and takes Yumi out. Auric is determined to stay by her side and try to get her out of this mess, which, despite his best efforts, he fails at it. Meanwhile, Odd drags himself to the factory to help Aelita, who at this point is going solo for a third time. I swear. This character. There's a reason you fall in love with her. It's episodes like this. It's episodes like the other two times. It's every smarmy but yet smart line she ever says. Aelita is the real leader of this team. I will keep saying it forever and always. Not because it's my opinion, it's just straight truth. But Odd does eventually get there, thankfully, at the nick of time to save the day. But the more interesting parts, or oddly, the real world parts. Everybody's trying to survive and trying not to die of hypothermia. The teachers and all the other students are holed up with all the winter accoutrements. The heater is turned all the way up physically to its capability. And we're even punching people to try to keep them awake. Sissy and Herb have commandeered Thomas's Lamborghini to stay warm. Which, because Herb decides to be smarmy for about 5 seconds, he gets rewarded by a slap. Never have I been more on Elizabeth's side than here. We're trying to stay warm, we're not trying to move this show from a TVY7 to an MA. Even if Herb is technically correct. Way to leave Nicholas on the cold somewhere, too. But even their plans end up going belly up. They end up with the rest of the students anyway. But the attack is stopped. The time reset is used to save Yumi's life, was passed out due to the pain and hyperthermia, which the emotions are done well here on Oryx's part. And when the time is reset, Thomas gets his just due. So, everything turns out simple and okay. This episode is a simple and easy 5 out of 6. This feels like a season 1 episode, but takes advantage of the season 2 Xana power to boost it up a level. And the threat is not only a great and simple threat, it's scientifically and logically done. No shenanigans like satellite, light, or a mini zombie plague of threats. Just using simple science to create something truly terrifying and dangerous. Which proves how powerful Xana actually is. That he can skirt the line between the logic and illogical when it comes down to it. And considering the last couple of Xana attacks we've covered had been totally illogical, it's good to know that we can still do the logic stuff at this point. Every character is at their absolute strength. Even our favorite nerdy simp manages to do everything kind of correct here. By actually getting up out of his seat, putting Odd in the scanner, and virtualizing him himself so that Odd can make the save. So yes, you have to actually give Jeremy credit here for doing it good. But next week's episode, I don't remember nearly as well. So hopefully, deja vu doesn't give me a sense of it. But we'll talk about that next Wednesday. Enjoy your holiday. Find peace in your own nirvana. I'll see you next week. Told you this video would be longer than last week's.